Senator Kelly. Senator Cramer, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Admiral, for your service, to you and your wife for your service, and your willingness to continue it. We need you badly. Like everyone else, I appreciated it very much and enjoyed our discussion yesterday in my office. Since we've been talking about old missiles, I want to, and new ones, and we're excited for the new ones for sure in North Dakota and at Minot. But as you know, Minot is also the last of the bases to receive, will be to receive the Sentinel. As we transition from Minuteman III to Sentinel, what steps are being made to ensure that there's no gap, that we have continuous alert coverage, that personnel readiness, all of that, while Sentinel is being constructed?
Thank you, Senator. And I too enjoyed our conversation and appreciated your time. If confirmed as a STRATCOM commander, one of my most important responsibilities that I see with respect to the transition from what we have to what we need in the future is understanding where the risks are within the portfolio and where additional risks might manifest themselves, and communicating that with precision together with the services to make sure that we're accounting for it. That's as we transition. The other factor associated with that is the strategic environment. And as the strategic environment evolves, any kind of adjustments to our strategic posture that would be required to provide advice with respect to that. And so understanding the margin in the system of what we have and where the risks might come from, and then making sure that we account for it across the entire triad of capabilities, and would be happy to follow up in a classified setting with details associated with that. But I'm comfortable with where we are. We need to continue to keep the pressure on to pull new capabilities to the left and deliver sooner. But the services are very focused on understanding where the margin is and how our systems are operating, and STRATCOM is as well.
Well, along the same lines, would it be acceptable in your mind in any situation to reduce the nation's ICBM count below 400? Because there's a lot of talk about that, and what would be the downside and what are the benefits of all 400?
Based on the strategic environment, I would, my military advice would be not to reduce the numbers, and in a classified setting, be happy to have that conversation. It really comes back to this complementary nature. The whole is much greater than the sum of the parts, and each leg of the triad has unique attributes that are really important. With respect to our Minuteman III system, its availability since the 1960s, 24/7, 365, ability to retarget and hold at risk, what's required, again, for that operational flexibility and providing the max range of options to the president is really, really important together with the other legs of the triad.
Well, not to be outdone by the age of missiles, we have some really old airplanes, too, at Minot. As you know, we have two of the three legs of the nuclear triad. The B-52s have been around longer than you and Senator Sheehy as well. And the B-52s are due for modernization as well in the engines, as you know. We appreciate that the new helicopters are coming to replace the very old Hueys as well. Obviously, modernization is important in Minot. But you talked a little earlier with Senator Rounds about B-21s. We talked a little bit about the number above 100. It's becoming pretty common speak, obviously. But maybe you could speak a little bit to the B-52, whether we get to replace them someday with B-21s. It's not on the docket now, or the importance of that machine as, again, through this transition of modernization.
Thank you, Senator, and I absolutely agree with your point with respect to the B-2 and its essential nature to our strategic deterrent. And in a classified setting, I could get into details. That modernization is really important. The new engines associated with, that are ongoing for that are world-class, coming from Rolls-Royce. Essentially, it's an old airplane, but it's a new airplane because every piece internal to that aircraft has been replaced over time, and that's part of that modernization for the avionics and those engines. And there's some incredible technology being applied by Rolls-Royce in terms of data for those engines that are going to that is almost certainly going to improve the readiness rate of those aircraft going forward.
Appreciate that. I would just add, I mean, one of the things that encourages me about the B-21 is it does seem to have a frame that's durable, and that has multiple opportunities. I'm a little tired of building one airplane that can only do one thing and then have to build another one to do the next thing. So anyway, thanks for listening. Thank you, Admiral.
Thank you, Senator Cramer. Senator